Well, wouldn't that be funny? Because they want us to go on. Now we're live. Yay! Hello, everyone. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Thanks for joining us on this lovely Thursday.
Yes, Thursday, where it's like we're a few days out of the 2021 polar vortex.
Oh, I know.
In Illinois.
Is it coming tonight?
I don't know when it's coming, but it's like the high is going to be like 4.
Right?
So.
And then the wind chill is going to be like 30 below.
Oh, but you know what? We're good.
I know.
Like we're strong Midwestern stock.
It's all good.
It's all good. I love that mug.
I know. I say it way too often, but you know what's funny? My relatives in the Philippines, I had posted a picture of our snow. And then if you're a friend of ours on Facebook and you saw the snow that was on the ground over, what was it, like last Tuesday? No.
Last Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're like, it looks so cold. I'm like, it actually can't be too cold, otherwise it won't snow.
Right. I love when it first snows, but it was.
I know, it's so pretty.
It was a lot of snow. I think we got
a lot.
However, our Lula, our store namesake, Lula and her family live out in Jersey, and they got 30 inches.
30 inches of 30 snow.
Inches.
Holy
I'm like,
smokes.
Oh, it's Matt, Lula's dad, said that he was on the driveway for 8 hours.
I mean, total.
And didn't really finish.
No, because you finish and then you go back, and then you finish and then you go back.
So our little
foot
is not so bad.
Yeah, right?
It's like, and it's pretty.
It's going to be fine.
And it's like, I saw driving to the store the other day, I saw like snowmen and fun things.
I know.
And somebody on our local chatter group, or the Facebook thing for the town, they needed like someone who could do a snow sculpture, like for a child's birthday. They wanted to come over to their house right away and do it.
Cute.
That was kind of neat.
That's a really cool idea. I hadn't thought about that.
So what's in your cuppa?
Right now, I'm finishing up Cloud and Mist.
Oh, that's lovely.
We had a customer come in this morning and ask, I'm like, that's a good idea. I have not had Cloud and Mist in a while. Look, and I can show you what the dry.
Now look at us with our dual.
I hope you can hear us okay. But like, this is Cloud and Mist. It's a Chinese green tea. We talked about green tea last week. I will post.
Because it grows in the cloud and the mist.
Cloud and Mist, so mountainous region. How about you?
Well, I didn't realize we were going to, so I usually just come in and I'm surprised at what Julie has planned.
Yeah.
But we're going to do a white tea tasting, which I should not be drinking this. So this is a
just have a
chai. Sip. So I'll just have a slurp.
Just have a slurp. Okay.
Right.
Here we go.
Ooh, good job, Haley or Lily.
Lily.
Good chai today.
Wait, which one do you have? The oat?
I have the oat.
Very nice. Very nice.
You know what? I was never one for milk alternatives, but because almond is so watery to me, but the oat.
I'm telling you, it's
creamy
and
delicious.
Deal. So the chocolate, the traditional, and the oat chai, or the chai with oat milk, they're all ready. I sent out the text. We have our 12 followers. I love it on our text. I'm still working out the details you could like maybe sign up if you want, like via email. Not quite there yet.
We're in a learning curve. So in, I don't know when, November, October, whatever,
November or December, right?
We changed our website. Then we changed our email service, and we've just changed everything so we could do all these new and fancy things. However, there's a learning curve. Like yesterday, I added Snowflake to the website.
Okay.
One tea with different sizes, and then the cold and the hot prepared beverages. It took me 2 hours.
Oh gosh. I'm telling you. Hi, Renata. How are you? She is having. Is this from us?
Oh, Yulee Mountain. That's really.
Oh, that is lovely.
Make sure that you steep that more than. Look at me. Make sure you steep that more than once. Yeah, lovely.
You do that.
Yeah.
That's and
let me know if you feel hungry later, because whenever I drink a pour, I always get like I feel like it just grinds up what's in my gut and I get super hungry.
Oh my gosh.
That's why it's a great after dinner digestive. It's my go-to on Thanksgiving.
Wow. That's so awesome. Love it. So let us know what you're drinking. But yes, you can see from the other camera if you're actually watching us and not just listening. We're going to talk a little bit about white tea today because we're back to the basics.
I like that, back to the basics.
Because this is the time of year that I feel, again, we have new friends, new tea friends, people new to the area finding us. In fact, we had a gentleman come in. He lives 5 minutes away from here, has never been here.
I know.
But all of his friends sent him here.
Oh, see, we love that.
Which was so cool.
I feel, gosh, we've been here 13 years next month.
And people are still finding us. So come for chai,
like
come
I'm doing
buy
a
your
Barbara Streisand
tea.
thing.
I know, I do that too now that I have long hair.
I need to cut my long hair. I feel like a short pay today. I just can't. Yeah, I don't know, ladies. Do you ever just have the thing where you just can't take the hair on your face? That's where I was today. It's like, I think it's just because of the dry itchiness. I'm like, I gotta get this hair off my face. So, you know, the 80s.
I know. So
they
you're gonna see me
hair
do
back.
this a lot.
I know, but then
It's okay.
Barbara, can you hear me?
I know. But I am fine because I haven't had long hair since like Abby was 3, so that's like
I think
16
it's
years
fabulous
ago.
on
It's kind
you.
of fun.
Your COVID
Thank
hair?
you. Yes, my COVID hair.
Awesome.
So then I find myself doing this a lot.
Yeah, it's like, wow.
I know.
Although I always wondered why those goofball Kardashian girls always pet their hair. Do you ever watch them?
No, I don't. I've actually never watched an episode in my entire life. Ever.
I don't
I'm
anymore
sorry.
because I
don't.
just couldn't have that
All right.
going in because it's just numbing.
Anyway, okay. Well, while we drink and talk about white tea, we can just pet our hair.
Yeah.
I have 5 questions
Excellent.
from the tea
All right.
community.
I'm ready.
And not Michael, but Mike. I know it's like we can talk tea all day, couldn't we? We could.
It's
So
so
I wrote
fun.
it down.
I was just listening to a book about work performance and productivity, and it was all about, is it a passion or an obsession?
Oh, geez.
I kind of think I'm on the obsession side, which is not a bad thing.
No.
I love I just found a new
Isn't
book
it-
on tea last night, like on Japanese green tea. It just came out, I don't know when, just like this last
my
year.
gosh.
And I'm like, oh my God, I must download this right now. And so then I'm up.
And then you got it.
reading.
There you go. Love that.
It's like, oh, Christmas.
It is.
Tea
So
book.
you can have Christmas anytime.
Oh my
Anyway.
gosh, insane.
It is. So if you are new to loose leaf teas, white tea is kind of like a good starting place too. Like if you are so used to black teas, and you've never had white, you should definitely sample some.
Right.
Definitely get some. And I'm not talking about like tea bag tea from the grocery. Like come to us. Come to, go
Well,
check out
there's,
Loose Leaf Teas.
it's it's not even my quote. It's Georgia O'Keeffe. In
Okay.
her house, she's an artist during the Impressionist era, like studied with Monet or painted with Monet and Manet. In her house in Santa Fe, you can go visit it. There are 2 tins in her cabinet. One says tea and one says good tea.
Wow. I
So there's
love
tea
that.
and then there's good tea.
There's tea and
This
then
is
there's
the good tea. Or actually, this is the great tea.
It is a great
It's a great tea. So looks like we've got 2 varieties.
Yeah.
Is this a flavored one?
One of them is the flavor. I just brought it
Yeah, that's
just
the
to
flavored
show
one.
you guys, like, if you don't know what white tea is, and I don't even know if this is a correct way to describe it, is that it's like the quintessential, like it's super natural in a way.
Right.
And I mean, Sheila and I have done classes where we talk about this, and people are always like, I've never had white tea before.
Right.
So here's the basics of it, right? You pluck the tea leaf off the bush.
Yeah.
It dries.
You let it dry. Sometimes in the sun, like they'll bring it in and they'll, like, especially the buds, they'll spread it out in the sunshine and they'll let the sun start to dry it and naturally wither it.
Right.
And then they dry it.
And that's it. And then when they dry it, I mean, it has to go into a machine or something, right?
It's like a front loading dryer,
There you go.
or like they'll even toss it in a wok. So, but it has to be, all tea has to get dried in some way to make
Every
it stable. Otherwise, you get moldy leaf in your bed.
Right. Yeah. And that's not good.
No, that's
That's not good for packaging at all.
no, it's awful.
No. But you can see here, so we got the other camera going on. It looks crispy.
Right, it is.
And
So in our
yeah.
classes, so first of all, this is called Yunjin
That one's the
by Hao
jasmine.
Yunjin. Oh, this is jasmine.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
This is the jasmine. So this is a scented white tea, and Yunjin is also known as silver needles. You might see it as by Hao Yunjin, or
Those look like flowers even.
yeah. So this is now when you get a white tea like this, it's very expensive, and the reason why is they plucked when the
Oh my
tea is growing just the bud. So
Like the
imagine,
leaf bud.
Yeah.
The leaf, not a flower bud.
Yeah, no, just
Yeah.
the leaf bud.
There you go.
I'll do how they do in the
Yes.
makeup videos. So it's just the bud. So it takes about 10,000 of
Oh my
these
gosh.
buds to make a pound of tea. So what they do is they pluck it and then they dry it. Now this one has been scented. This jasmine silver needles, what they do is after they bring the tea and they set it on like, it looks like bamboo cots, they face it in the sun, it dries. Then at night they bring back, they bring in night blooming jasmine.
Right. It only blooms at night, right?
Only blooms at night.
Okay.
But it's all around. The
And
tea
then
leaf
you
will
get this
absorb
one.
it. So it takes a good week or so to get a properly scented white tea, or even a properly scented green tea, like a jasmine pearls. Then the other variety is called Bai Mudan. So this is, it's also known as white peony. This is the 2 leaves in the bud have been harvested. Now this, because it does have the 2 leaves in addition to the bud. So here's like a nice big bud. Oh, look at, you can see this bud set. So you can see the bud.
Look at that.
And the leaf right there. All right, so, and you notice that the leaf is somewhat dark. When this is drying outside in the sunshine, it naturally oxidizes. So you will get some browning of the leaf, but it's not like they bruise the leaf to do it. It just happened in the sun.
There's like no and that's what people were asking, like, well then, what do you mean nothing's done to it? And I was like, well, some tea leaves are
like
bruised or rolled, or because the tea masters want it to oxidize.
Right, or even with the green tea that they will roll it, 1, to shape it, and 2, to sometimes those cell membranes break and then it spreads out like the flavor among all the leaves. Now what's interesting in our classes when we do white teas, I don't know if you can hear the crunch. You hear the crunch? Oh, I'm going to say oh, brand new
It's okay, but it is crunchy.
It's very, because it's been dried in the sun. So it doesn't mean it's like old off stale tea. It's just dried in the sun, so it is it's kind of brittle.
We can do ASMR, that's like the ultra quiet recording where we just do where we talk like this. My husband started doing that in his class, like just as a joke, like today we're gonna do, his students were completely grossed out. They were just like, stop it, Mr.
Right, you sound like
stop it.
So what's beautiful about steeping silver needles is that
that's not good.
As the water plumps up the leaf, it'll start to stand up like soldiers.
Here, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to go really close.
A new use for your mask.
Right? No, but I don't know if you guys can see.
Oh, there it is.
Look at that.
I know, it's beautiful. So you want to steep silver needles in glass if you can, just to appreciate how the leaf is plumping up.
I love it. Here, I like that.
There you go.
That's so fun. So I have a timer on, and it was at 3 minutes. I might stop it a little sooner.
Oh yeah, these are meant to be steeped numerous times.
So that was the other thing, is when I first started coming here and we talked about white tea, I didn't know how forgiving it is.
Oh yeah.
That it's like some places will even steep it like 8 to 10 minutes.
Right. So what you can do is you can actually just put the tea leaves in a pint glass, fill it with your hot water.
So this is the Bai Mudan. And it looks like a bunch of crispy leaves, right? I mean, it's steeping.
Mm-hmm.
And it's super light. You're gonna see when we pour it into our white tasting cups. Again, we talked about this last week where it's like, it looks really light and people get freaked out that it's not
Where's
done.
the tea?
And it's not, it's fine.
Yeah, don't brew to color, brew to type.
Right. Now, this we can smell because it's jasmine. Sometimes white teas don't really have a dry aroma. Like
sometimes it's a very faint, almost earthiness. It's very faint.
That's a good way to put it.
But then once you put the water on, then you have to really enjoy that aroma. It has like a gentle earthiness. Now this one will have a beautiful jasmine aroma. So here's a pro tip. If you can steep a jasmine scented tea twice, and you still get that beautiful jasmine aroma, it's been properly scented, not sprayed.
Ooh.
Because
flavored,
well, it's like an aroma thing,
like
essential oil. Yeah, no, you want the authentic. You want it scented. So if you think you're going to buy this for like $1.50, you're not. Because think about someone bringing in the flowers every night for a week. You take out the ones in the morning, you bring in new at night, you do that for a week. It's labor intensive, but it's so worth it.
Right. I saw this video. I forget. It was probably during my my tea classes when I was getting certified, where they showed all the tea, like basically on, it was a bed of tea.
Right.
And then they just dumped all the jasmine flowers on top. You want to sniff? All right. So then we are decanting. Brought out
I wish you could smell this. So gentle.
So
lovely and gentle. And here's the thing though, I'm not a floral tea drinker, but that is, I love the smell of jasmine, but it's a floral. But
I just grab the tea from the door, like and here's
just
the other
watching
one.
some happy tea customers walk past with their TeaLula tea.
So if you're having tea time, and I went on our Instagram page yesterday and just did a really quick little video, like around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, because it's tea time. Because I had been working for a few hours. I'm like, I really need to break my day here. I really need to.
So in a breaking, do a video, which just kind of works.
Well, I made some tea, and I'm like, oh, we'll just go on video. So
God, you're so good at that.
I'm trying. Anyway, take your time, make your tea, smell the tea. It's so good, guys. Like I haven't even poured it, and it's like you can slow yourselves down.
White tea can be somewhat, it's a new experience for many tea drinkers just because it's going to be very light. It's going to smell different, taste different than a black tea would. So if you're a black tea drinker, this is going to be really, it's a different experience. But it's definitely something to experience just so that you can have compare, but also have an awareness of how tea is manufactured and how that manufacturing brings out different flavors and aromas. Okay. So not just the raw material of the leaf, but just the whole process.
Can you see? And we're going to show on the other camera what it looks like in the white cup.
Here, I'll set these up a little bit. All right.
So take a look. See.
So this one, I'll do like a flight attendant.
Yeah.
This one is the silver needles. So just the pure bud of the plant. Then this one is the Bimodon, and this is the 2-leaf and bud plucked and dried. So you can see with having these additional leaves that have been naturally oxidized out in the sunshine, it makes for a little deeper colored cup.
So let's taste.
Let's taste.
All right. So I'm going to go jasmine.
Mm-hmm.
And you can totally smell. Sometimes you got to do that. You got to quiet your mind. It is sweet, not sugary sweet, but you get a sweet.
But very smooth. So if you don't like the astringency of some teas, the dryness, this does not have that.
Super smooth. And maybe that's also like characteristic of, just the not oxidizing.
Correct.
Because when you oxidize, there's tannins, and that's a whole other discussion. And
that's like 3 weeks from now.
Sure. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so this is the Bimodon, the one that doesn't look like just the buds.
And 2-leaf and bud.
Oh my gosh.
So if you like a little bit more fuller bodied tea, the Bimodon is probably a good choice. It's also a little more affordable as far as white teas go because it's not just that one bud harvested, it's the 2 leaves and the bud. So sometimes it's 1 leaf, 1 bud.
That's true. And those all have different names too, right? There's a fine pluck, standard pluck.
Right.
Fine pluck.
That's standard pluck is 2 leaves. Fine pluck is 2 leaves and a bud. No, the standard pluck is 2 leaves and a bud. Fine pluck is 1 leaf, 1 bud.
Can you imagine? That's your job.
That's your job.
I mean, and people take pride in the beautiful tea, and it's like, that's it. 1 leaf, 1 bud.
The other thing people should know is that white tea can be very high in caffeine.
Good. All right. This is perfect time to go into the questions because here we are, the questions, and this is why we're going back to the basics, right? Because people would ask, does white tea have caffeine?
Lots of it.
How much? Yeah. See, don't be confused about like the lighter the tea, the less caffeine. It doesn't work.
Doesn't work that way. Well, matcha, you're getting all the caffeine in matcha.
Right. It's a green tea. It has nothing to do with that.
So the little bud, the sweet little bud, right, has a lot of caffeine concentrated in it because it hasn't grown up to a leaf yet.
It's a very young bud, and so I love why it has caffeine.
It's concentrated in
biologically.
Yeah, it's just all concentrated in there. So the other thing is with white teas, you can re-steep them all day long. So it takes about 7 to 10 minutes to release all the caffeine.
And not boiling water.
Yeah, no.
However,
when the leaf is whole, you could use pretty high temperature water, but then just start off with small, short times.
Like 30 seconds.
Yeah, steepings, and then keep going. But yeah, it takes a good 10 minutes for this thing to get really bitter. Right. So most people just put white tea straight in a cup or a pot or a gaiwan, and you just keep adding water to it all day long.
Like I did yesterday.
But it does have a significant amount of caffeine, it just depends on how sensitive you are to it. So, but it also has theanine as well, which gives tea its calming effect.
So one of the scientists, because I'm like a science geek, so it has a lot of caffeine in it when it's young, like leaves in general.
Yes.
But it's a natural insecticide. It's there to protect the plant from getting eaten up.
Right.
And that's so it has
So
a
it
lot
shoots
of
it out, like,
so it has
get
a
away from
lot
me.
of caffeine in there.
Mhm.
Who knew?
Who knew?
So like I wanted to spray my plants with like tea. I'm like, oh, will this work? No, don't do that.
I know.
All right.
However, oftentimes when they decaffeinate tea, using the CO2 method, they can gather up that caffeine powder and then they go use it as a natural pesticide.
True. It's also in your makeup, but we can talk about that
We have
another
makeup
time.
in my caffeine. Why do I look so tired?
I don't know. All right, here's another question. Can I make my own white tea?
Like, can you grow it yourself?
Oops, you know what? Yeah.
Well, you can. It depends where you live.
You're gonna have like this much tea.
Well, one time we did grow a couple
to,
Camellia sinensis plants, and it did flush in the spring. And so I told everyone to bring their thimble.
Oh my
gosh. We could fill.
Sorry,
you
guys,
could. It depends where you live. So in Illinois, it's very hard to grow tea plants.
Yes.
You know, it's even if like you have a whole, you know, room full of them, you need a greenhouse. They need lots of moisture. You need to make it rain on them, you know, spritz them every day. Okay. It's really hard. So we did have them flush, but honest to goodness, you would need to plant like 1,000 plants to get like a cup of tea.
Yeah. So can you make your own white tea? So if you had a white tea plant growing, and we bring them in once in a while here.
Yeah, we will. In the spring, we'll bring them back.
Yeah.
Well, we can have classes again. We'll bring them back.
We'll bring them back. But yeah, I mean, you could theoretically.
You would need a lot. So like I was saying, so we did have a couple Camellia sinensis plants here. They did flush, which means we got, you know, the buds came out. We did harvest the buds, but honest to gosh, we had like, I don't know.
They don't belong here in Chicago. They just don't.
So we had 12. Hard. So then we could have just set those outside and let them dry out for about 40 hours. But we just only had.
We have the humidity and like heat levels.
Yeah. So we did, you know, we tried, but there just wasn't.
It wasn't.
It just really depends on where you live. If you're in southern climates, warm climates, like so they grow tea in the United States and Tennessee, Texas, Hawaii, Mississippi, Hawaii, Georgia. Oregon. So wine growing areas, they're growing tea.
Yeah.
So really, there's a great tea company. I think it's the Great Mississippi Tea Company.
Oh, yeah.
In Mississippi, they're great. We
should go visit.
I think. Well, I want to go when they're harvesting and like work on their work in their field.
All right, field trip. Okay, ready for the next question?
I'm ready.
How do I steep if there's a white tea and herbal blend? Like, okay, I guess that's it. How do I steep
Well, the good thing is if you have white tea in with your herbal, it can take the higher temperature.
That's true. Oh, yeah, you could boil it.
Yeah. You might want to just cut it down a couple minutes, you know, just the temperature, like
maybe like less than boil, or I guess maybe I would look at my tea blend. If you got the white tea and herbal blend, maybe there's more herbs than white. I don't know.
It also depends. Do you have the Bimodam where it's more broken, or do you have the silver needles is fine. Just throw it in with your herbal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily buy silver needles to add to it.
No,
that's just really making.
Don't do that.
It's a very expensive herbal tea.
Don't do that. You don't have to do that.
But just look at the leaf. If the tea leaves are broken up, there's more surface area for the water to get in. The steep time will be reduced. So I would definitely
maybe it looks like that.
Put the water at like 195.
Right. Just not like over 200.
Yeah, but they're very forgiving. So
totally
I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Okay, so here's the last question.
Okay.
White tea, is it more healthy than other tea?
Love that question.
Oh my goodness.
Love that question.
That's always a good bit. That comes up.
Number one. Okay. White tea is still tea from the Camellia sinensis plant, as is green tea, oolong, and black tea. Depends on the variety. Is it a larger leaf Assam? Is it a smaller leaf Chinese varietal?
It's still the same
a derivative of the Camellia sinensis plant. Therefore, all of them will have some properties in common.
It's true.
When you manufacture the tea, it changes the chemistry of the leaf, providing different health properties. So for instance, people say white tea is the healthiest because it is the most like it was on the plant. It's plucked, dried, and
that's a good way to look at it. You can think of it that way.
So not a whole lot changes. However, there is something about the withering process of green teas, oolongs and black. So green teas, the leaf starts to wither. As it's withering, there's a chemical change going on in the leaf that creates these catechins that become EGCG, like cancer
Those
fighting
are like the amino acids.
Right. So that occurs with this withering process in green teas. Then when you start to oxidize the leaves, you change that chemical combination again, and you bring out different things like theorubicins and theaflavins. So the bottom line is, and I've been saying this for a million years now, well, 13, but
it feels like
that's like a
time.
million in tea years.
Right.
Drink the rainbow of tea, because it's like, if someone told you that the blueberry was the healthiest fruit on the planet, would you only ever eat blueberries? No, you'd eat strawberries and oranges and apples and raspberries. You eat the variety to get all those macronutrients. So anyway, the same thing with with all teas. Black teas are going to have different chemistry than oolong and green. So therefore, I would say drink the rainbow. And because like when people say, "Oh, this is the healthiest," well, according to whom?
Yeah.
You know?
And what is your definition of the healthy? What are you looking for, right? A lot of times we'll have customers come in and they are looking for certain things. Now, we're not medical people over here, but we read a whole darn lot.
Well, not only that, the good thing is we read the source document.
True.
So we don't read somebody else's evaluation of the source document. We read the actual study. Like, you don't have to read all the in-between stuff that says how they did ABC. You just read what was their hypothesis and what was their conclusion based on their research.
And there's very reputable research facilities, and I say this all the time, that at any given time there's like over 5,000 research projects, things going on across the world with tea. UC Davis.
UC Davis, and you know what? I saw UC Davis does this conference, and I so wanted to go to it.
My cousin went there first. He's a chemical engineer.
I wanted to go to their conference. I just had something online recently, but it was conflicted with a day. Anyway, so there's a lot of really good research, but basically, drink the rainbow of tea. They all have wonderful properties to them. And then also, what else can you do to support that? Like, are you still like, you can't eat eclairs and then drink a cup of tea and think you're gonna Otherwise, I would be a teen model.
Like you could,
I would be 97 pounds soaking wet.
Everything in moderation.
Yeah, there is a study that came out recently, and I didn't post it anywhere. I think I might have shared it with you about green tea and COVID. I'm like, oh yes,
we're ready.
We're ready for that one.
I think maybe the last thing about the whole like health and tea, just drinking the rainbow of tea, there's a lot of supplements out there that will have extract of green tea or extract of Camellia sinensis, that's fine. Just drink the tea.
Drink the tea. Well, first of all, with green tea extract, or what it is that EGCG, you need to be careful because some people get nutso with supplements. So
just be careful.
If 500 milligrams is great, then 10,000's got to be better. No, just take whatever is recommended. Don't, because you don't want to hurt your liver.
No, don't do that.
It's like the person in England who drank like 3 or 4 gallons of super strong black tea, iced tea. No, they're in heaven now.
Stop it.
To kill their little
electrolytes off. Don't do kidney tests with your tea.
No,
you don't have to.
I think in my personal opinion, the health benefits of tea don't come only from what is in the liquor that's extracted from the leaf, but it's how tea is different than coffee and other beverages. With tea, there's a mindfulness to it. So prepare your tea at the proper temperature. Brew your tea in something lovely. Watch the leaves unfurl. Take that moment. I think that whole ceremony of preparation of tea, I think it calms down the body, mind, and soul. And I think that helps with health benefits.
It's more holistic. It's a holistic view. It's not just brewing a tea, gulping it down.
Yeah.
All right, I did it.
You can do that.
You can, but
I think if you're looking for a more holistic approach, you want to be mindful in your tea preparation. And then it's like one of the best things ever. You enjoy tea with a friend, where you're sharing your lives together, or you enjoy tea with your children. What a wonderful way to know what's going on in their world. So I think all of that helps with the health benefits of the beverage. In addition to all the good chemistry that's going in you, drink your polyphenols.
Oops, that's my little, okay. You
That's
guys
it. That Julie has an alarm now. Sheila, stop talking.
No, I love when Sheila talks tea, and this is exactly why we have to get back into basics.
I'm doing a class on Saturday.
Oh my gosh.
First class.
Are you so excited?
I'm very excited. I'm a little nervous, but I'm
It's
excited
okay, because you care.
Well, I care, and hopefully I can hear people.
I think it'll be okay.
Yeah,
We'll
they're
be there.
gonna have, they can't taste tea with a mask on, so I don't know what we're gonna do then. But I did get permission from our local health
Good.
department. I have received the blessing to have small classes again.
Okay, well then there you have it. So you're gonna, one of the things that might be new to you on our website is if you do go over to our classes and workshops page, there's a little sign up so that you'll get information when we are ready to go.
Right.
So you'll start doing
Yeah,
that.
some of the classes we really can't open
We're
up
doing
right
private,
now. We're
yeah,
doing
yeah.
private right now,
And
just
small.
because
And
like
small.
4 people.
Yeah. In fact, I need to reach out to a certain friend who wanted to come in and do tea class, so we can do tea class. It'll be fun.
Yeah, small classes.
Okay, and then what else before we have to go? I'm just seeing here. Yeah, I think we're good, just because there's just so much information. You know, sometimes when you come here and you like learn all about tea, like, and then you just are totally overwhelmed. Oh, good, Jill. Thank you.
Yeah, small classes return. Small,
Right. Intimate
classes.
Intimate.
Until, like we're moving in the right direction,
We
because
are.
I know the state has moved to phase 4, which allows more people, but Cook County has remained at tier 1. So
Yeah.
it's like the state says yes, the county says no. So we just have to wait, and
We just
wait until they say, yeah, you're good to go.
we're good, right? One other item, if you are on our email list, our February podcast dropped. So there's a fun little email that went out yesterday. So yeah,
Yeah,
Go listen.
Yeah, listen to our podcast. Haley really does a great job on those.
you can go to Spotify. That's where you'll find us, and you can subscribe. So let us know if you enjoy
We
it.
should play it here at the store.
We
have
could.
Spotify.
We do. So you can actually listen to the episode. I should tell you which episode
It's
it
on
is. We
T-Books.
only have 7. The one that's current is TeaBooks, but there is a whole episode on white tea.
Oh, right.
So you can do a deep dive.
Deep dive into white tea.
All right.
Yeah, it's lovely.
And
just remember, we do send samples.
we do.
So if you want to sample our white tea before you buy the white tea, just go on our website and order a sample.
All right. So any questions, you know where to find us, comment, like, share, all that good stuff. But we will be here next week.
We
and
will.
We'll talk to you all later.
Yeah, good chat.
All right. Good
All
chat.
right. See you next week,
Have
everyone.
fun. Have a great, be careful. Stay warm.
Stay warm.
Bye, everyone.
Drink your tea. It keeps you warm, healthy.